For many years, strict licensing with sporting leagues around the world created an industry without the competition for quality it once had. But an Adelaide graphic designer is now partnering with the world's biggest athletes and producing cards worthy of a museum.
Card companies saw my work on Instagram and they were like, oh, these are really cool. We would love to see that on a card. Would you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I grew up collecting cards. It's a dream of mine to make a card one day. So it just went hand in hand, and that was 2014, and my first set was Topps Fire. I did some work with Panini. I did Kobe Hero vs Villain set, which is the last year of his career, which is really cool. Kobe's like kind of my idol, so that was amazing to do that. In 2020, I started working on these cards, Project 2020, where print runs and everything was publicly displayed. And I saw that, and thousands or tens of thousands of people buying these individual cards. And I was like, oh, there's actually a demand for my work and people like it. So I believe that I could just kind of go out and do it myself. And that was kind of the birth of it there. First athlete I did was Jason Tatum. Before he was like an NBA champion now, I wanted to invest into someone that I knew that was going to be good. Someone that I knew was able to get the deal sorted with his team, and we just agreed on a rate. And outside of purchasing a house, that was the largest thing I've paid for in my life. I was like, I got to bet on myself. All the NBA players were in a bubble in Disney World in Orlando, Florida. None of the card companies could get these guys to sign, but I shipped a box inside the bubble. You signed the cards in the bubble, mailed them back the next day. I got them within 4 days, and people were going nuts because they were waiting for these redemptions of Jason Tatum and everything, and I was able to get something to the bubble and back to Adelaide in Australia within like 4 days. So it was pretty crazy. They sold out very quickly. It was a couple of minutes. The next day I woke up and there's like all these like agents and managers trying to do deals with me. So yeah, it was pretty amazing to see. There's a lot of athletes now. Basketballers, I've got Giannis Antetokounmpo, Steph Curry, Dennis Rodman, Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, Ja Morant. NFL players, I've done Dan Marino, Barry Sanders, I've done Calvin Johnson, Emmett Smith, Tyreek Hill. Boxers, I've done Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, and Tyson Fury. I've done some Australian athletes as well, so I've done Josh Giddey, Josh Green, and everyone's favourite, Paddy Mills. Typical signing session, some of them are at card shows like the National in America. It's a good opportunity to get dual on cards. If the player's going to be there the same day. I had Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson. They both signed their cards an hour within each other. And Sean Kemp and Gary Payton, I had the same thing as well. They signed those a few hours in between each other. That is beautiful to me, to be able to fly over and get a handful done. But in terms of like the private signings, they can be done at their house. Like I've done card signings at, I went to Carmelo Anthony's house. I went to Floyd Mayweather's hotel room. I went to Tyreek Hill's house. And a lot of them are also done in Australia. If I hear of someone going to come down to Australia, I can set signings up here. Generally speaking, I'd like to spend 2 weeks making the artwork, 2 weeks for printing, and then allocating time for a signing. So I really do need like a month to work on it, and then I, sell it if something's topical. Like Steph Curry, when he broke the record for 2974, the 3-point record, I had them signed before that. He even put the ball in the basket, and so that's his first ever card. And then when the ball went in the basket, the site went live. Like it was a pretty cool moment, but also really cool that Steph was okay with that. One thing I am trying to innovate on is the packaging. I definitely was inspired by like how watch companies sell their products. People buy, watches that are thousands or tens of thousands or $100,000. It's really presented well. It's a collectible. I'm just trying to have fun with it. The best thing is the people that I've been able to get a relationship with. That is the best thing, I think, even about this hobby. It's not about owning the coolest card. It's going to a card show and going out for a beer after, and there's 30 guys and we're all talking about basketball in the 2000s. That stuff doesn't happen outside this hobby. I think that's always going to keep me within it.